This hits home for me. I was introduced to dry humping as a kid by other kids. This has memories flooding my mind right now. How could I forget about dry humping? I must have been introduced to that around the time that I mentioned in the video when I was in second grade and the kids were hiding in the back closet, doing things. Girls would put coats over their laps and fondle each other, right? But I think like some of the boys and the girls would like dry hump in the back underneath some type of blanket. I remember the teacher had to get rid of this blanket that she had in the classroom because they discovered that kids were doing things inappropriately. Playing house, I think that's what they were calling it at the time, playing house and being the mom and the dad and pretending like they were going, go half on a little one. Somebody had to pretend to be the baby. And anyway, yeah. Although I didn't partake in it at school, like I wasn't that comfortable with these kids, I guess. Like some were bullies. I was just having a rough time, I think, making friends at that school. So I had like one or two friends, but if they were around those other kids that were kind of giving mean vibes, I stayed away. But I took what I saw there and I tried it on a friend that I felt more, I guess, close to and comfortable with. So I had these friends that I was raised to kind of be like, oh, these are your cousins because their parents were close to my mom. My mom and their mom were like best friends. They met in college and had kids around the same time. They had two daughters each. And anyway, so we were having a sleepover at their house. And I called myself like dry humping my cousin friend, and her mom caught me, and but she spoke to me and she didn't make me feel like shame. I was embarrassed to be caught for doing something like that. Like I was trying to do something that I saw some other kids doing, and I was like, "Have you ever done this?" Like it was like out of curiosity, I asked them, "Do the kids do this at your school? Cuz this is what they do at my school." And I was like, going in the act like to show her and do this on the my friend, and her mom was like, "Where did you get that from?" Like she talked to me in private, like but I don't know if she told my mom. Like it was not discussed to me by my parents, like, oh, so is what happened. What, no one picked my brain really, but she did address it with me in a way that I felt that she she didn't shame me for it as a child. Like, what are you doing? And where did you get that from? Like, she was just like, curious to know and ask them questions. And I guess gathering from what I shared with her, she knew that wasn't my character. She knew my family, and she still allowed me to come to her house, and she still allowed her kids to spend the night with us, like, because, and I'll tell you, that was the only time I had did that. Like I didn't continue to do that to her, my friend, and try to sneak and do, but and then I remember around that time, Paula Abdul had this video, Cold Hearted Snake. I haven't seen that video in so long, but I remember there was images of like the women like grinding on each other, and it was something that piqued my curiosity of like doing these sensual moves and trying it on like my sister and stuff, and we would like, I was laughing and giggling thinking it was like I was doing I was Paula Abdul or some shit. But we have to watch out for these gateways of those type of spirits coming upon our innocent children, because that is another form of exposure. Music videos, these music artists, whether their music in their mind is geared to their age group, kids have access to these things by watching television. Now you got internet, so many different social media platforms, parents allowing kids to watch stuff on TV and feeling like, oh, they're in the house, they're fine. But how often are you checking in on your children? Like if you're busy, you're cooking, whatever, is your child like right next to you and you're able to like see and monitor what they're doing? I constantly ask my kids, what are you doing? What are you doing? Like, if I'm cooking, are you making the right choices? Like, what are you doing? What are you doing? Is it appropriate? And just to constantly have that, you're being watched. I'm watching exactly what you're doing on, so they don't think that they can get away with anything.